everybody, this is your host Alex, and welcome back for another episode. I believe this is episode 4, 5. You have to check me on that one. But I do realize that there's some things I have to address. The first one being the major one, which is, sorry, I couldn't find the song Enigma. It's by Enigma, and it's called Something of Innocence. I couldn't find that one to put it on the track, and I couldn't cut it right to make it sound nice, so sorry about that one. There's another song in its place, it's just as good. And, I realized that the pilot went down on SoundCloud because apparently there's a smaller limit than I was aware. But, I do plan on starting up a YouTube channel, and it's coming, it's for sure coming. And I'm just gonna go dump all the old ones on there. There's still gonna be regular uploads to SoundCloud, and nothing much is gonna change other than the fact that if you want to go back and listen to ones that are dropping off this this channel, then go to YouTube. It's gonna be under ThalkZone. That's what I'm naming the channel, and it's in the works. So I hope you guys really enjoy this episode. But yeah, just look out for the YouTube channel ThalkZone, and that's where I'm gonna pull all the old episodes. Probably after this goes up. Episode 1, which is me and Connor and Pagan, and episode pilot, which is me and Giacomo. Those are the two that are going to be on there first and foremost. Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the ThalkZone. I'm here with your host,
Alex Finley.
And I am the special guest today, known as the one and only Connor Talbert-Kloss.
It is lovely to have you back, Connor. Well, you're on episode 2, right?
I was on episode 2, number 2. Not 1, not 3, 2.
Alright. But, so, why don't we just start off how we always start off? We got a
Right
viewer
on.
shout out. Hey, do you mind if I take this one away?
You got it.
This shout out actually goes out to someone very dear to my heart. Hillary Clinton. No, I'm sorry. That's for a different podcast. This one goes out to my father, Adam Finley. Dad, well, my father, first let's do a little intro. He's listened to every episode of the podcast, and he's been a huge fan. He gives me feedback, and I just am really happy to have a dad who's so supportive of my choices in both my career and what I love to do. So thanks, Dad. I love you, and I'm sure Connor does too.
I love you, Mr. Finley. He's listened to every episode?
He's listened to every single episode from start to finish.
4 episodes.
Dude, you're swinging a miss there. It's been 6, but...
Oh.
You tried. Well...
Anyways.
What, is there much to talk about, or should we just get right into the main meat and potatoes of this podcast? What are we going for?
I say we jump right into the stew here, Alex, and get into the meat of what this podcast actually is, and that's answering your questions.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we took a survey, or sort of a survey, where we forced people to give us questions.
Alex, it was voluntary.
Voluntary, sort of. I had to reference it several times, and it was very painstaking to get people to actually give me something, but... your definition of voluntary.
We had to force their hands onto the paper and grip the pen for them. But, they were their questions. It was all them, their ideas, submitted to us to answer here on the podcast today.
Some of these are a little lighthearted. Some of them are a little intense. We're going to try to...
looking at you, Emma Lai.
Emma, thank you, Emma. We'll reference it when we get to your question, Emma. But, so, I don't see why we got to sit around and we got to wait. We'll try to match the tone to the question, and we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability.
All right.
Are you ready to get started? Why don't you ask our first question?
All right. This is a tough one, Alex. I just want to warn you. Coming out of the gate here, we're starting pretty rough. Pepsi or Coke?
Oh my gosh! You got to get right out of the gate with the one that stumps me. Honestly, might as well just turn off the podcast right now. There's no reason to keep going because I can't answer this.
This is a difficult question. Probably harder than most I've ever had to answer in my podcast time, and that's only been one other episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Connor's a bit salty. He's only been on one. We'll let him on some. Well, you'll see a lot of Connor. Don't worry, he'll be on a couple more.
You will hear a lot of Connor.
You'll see him.
True. I go to school. Anyways, if I were to have to answer this question, I'd like to say that I like the taste of both, and that's kind of because my mom drinks Pepsi, and so she'll get Pepsi sometimes, and so when she has it, I'll have it. But if I'm going to a movie theater with a big tub of popcorn, a beautiful lady at my side, I'm going to get a Coke to share.
That's a beautiful story, Connor. Now, you see, I'd always go Pepsi, actually, for the opposite reason. My dad's a big proprietor of Coke Zero. He loves that stuff. So
Right
we've
on.
always had Coke Zero. I'm just sick of the taste of it. I love getting a nice crisp Pepsi Max. I'll sit down, and I'll go to the movies alone. I won't go with a beautiful lady. I'll go and enjoy my movie solo, but I will get that Pepsi.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes solitary movie watching can be kind of peaceful. It's quiet. It's you in the film, you and Matt Damon while watching We Bought a Zoo.
I don't even think... Was he in We Bought a Zoo?
Yes.
Well,
Yes, he
okay.
was.
Well, this weekend I saw Logan, 9.5 out of 10. Go see it. Shout out to Logan.
Shout out to Logan.
Very
Logan
good.
Power, everyone.
Yeah, I don't think he listens to the podcast, though.
No, probably not. Anyways, let's move on to that second question.
Question 2.
Question number 2. Alex, what is your favorite or least favorite day of the week, and why?
Well, how do we do both of them? We'll do favorite to start. I'll go, and then you go, and then we'll
Alright.
do least favorite, and I'll go, and you go.
Sounds good.
So my favorite day of the week would honestly have to probably be Thursday. And now that might sound a bit odd to you guys, but Thursday's late start, which means every morning me and my buddies, we all go out, Connor included, and we go to Mickey D's, Mickey Donald's for the layman's term, but we go there. I just get some nice sausage biscuits, and we have a nice little breakfast. I'll sit down as a family.
Oh yeah, I would actually have to agree with you. I think my favorite day out of the week is Thursday, because of the reason we go to McDonald's every day, and I get a small black coffee, and we sit and have good times, good chats with the friends.
Plus, usually there's no homework on Thursdays.
Yeah,
so
that's really nice.
I'm fine with no homework.
Right.
And least favorite day. How about you? Want to
Least
start us off for least favorite day?
Least favorite day.
I already know my answer.
All right, you go and I'll think about it.
All right, my least favorite day of the week is Wednesday,
Ooh.
because little do you guys know, I'm all over the place. I wake up at 5:30 to get ready for school, and then Wednesday is usually the day of the week I work, so I'm pretty much not home from the time between 5:30 a.m. and 10 p.m. So they're just really stressful, long days, and I'm always miserable and tired at the end, and can't do any homework, so I'm a little bit behind, and it's just a rough day overall. I'm just not quite a fan of them.
I
Plus,
hear
it's
ya.
the middle of the week, so
Yeah.
either the end, you're not full of energy for the beginning, and you're not excited for the weekend. You're just right there in the middle.
You know, I think I'd have to agree with you that Wednesday's probably my least favorite day, because I use Wednesday to do all the homework that I don't want to do on Thursday for Friday. If that makes sense to you listening out there, then congratulations. You can understand Auburn Academy.
Leave a comment saying, "We understand, Connor. We love you."
Aw, love you too, random viewer.
Oh gosh. Well, was that kind of what we were looking for that question? Can
Yeah,
we move on to
yeah, we can move on.
number 3?
Number 3. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
That's an excellent question. I started the last one. You want to start this one? Do you know?
I got it right off the top of my head. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. It's
Wow.
not regular Zealand, but New Zealand.
Yeah, screw old Zealand. We're going to the new one.
We're going to the new one.
That was a horrible joke.
Moving forward, I want to go to New Zealand mostly because Lord of the Rings was filmed there.
Wow.
And I love Lord of the Rings. That is one of my favorite movie series. And if I could see the actual Shire, it would be awesome.
Wow.
I really want to go to New Zealand. It's beautiful out there.
I'd be afraid, because isn't that the place where they got like Tasmanian tigers and like
Tasmanian tigers are extinct.
I mean Tasmanian devils, the
Um,
little rodent ones that bite you. There's a lot of violent stuff.
I think
there.
that's more Australia.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, they're kind of the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah, the home of Hugh Jackman.
I love Hugh Jackman. Go see Logan.
Logan 2017.
We should put everything. We should make a reference to Logan as many times as we can.
We can try.
Well, the place I'd want to visit for sure is I'd want to go to Ireland, or
Yeah.
I just think it's an interest. Like I've seen an Irish Spring bottle of shampoo. That seems like right up my alley.
It is a wonderful smell, and if it's a wonderful smell, I'm sure it's a wonderful country.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how we can rate countries. It's like
The smell of their shampoos from Bed Bath & Beyond
wonderful.
or Bath & Body Works.
Mamma mia. Well, they both sell shampoo.
True.
So we good, but I go to Ireland, yeah. And for on a serious note, I just think it'd be interesting to go there. My grandfather's Irish, and I just want to see what that's all about.
It's beautiful out there. I mean, the cobblestone roads, just
rustic villages.
The morning dew sitting on the fog of the Irish bank. My name is Connor.
Connor Lafferty.
Connor Lafferty, and I'm going home to Ireland. I like how they say Ireland too, with like
Ireland.
It's like Ireland.
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 That is beautiful.
It is. It is.
We love you, Ireland.
Plus, I really like Celtic women.
Oh my gosh! All right, jumping out of the gate with that one.
Well, it's not like it's the band, Alex. The singers.
Celtic women is the group.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were just saying you like Celtic women in general.
No, it's like it's the group. They sing beautiful songs. If you have a minute out there, viewers, take a small minute out of your day to look up some Celtic women songs. You will be thoroughly relaxed. Just sit back, sipping Irish breakfast tea.
Is that a thing?
It is an actual thing. It's my favorite tea, believe it or not. And you'll find yourself in a very relaxed, comfortable state.
Alrighty.
Celtic women, everyone.
Celtic women. Now let's move on to question 4, and I'll ask this one. It's the big one that a lot of college students go through. It's, have you found a roommate? Now, I mean, for me, the other night actually, this is pretty fitting actually, but I went on and I typed in my info and how to did the little surveys about need-based and your personality-based matching with people. But the thing was, I went on there and it was like, here's the people you match with. Do you want to message them? And I'm like, I don't know these people. I don't want to message them out of the blue.
Right.
And if you don't know, I'm going to college in New Jersey, so it's not like I'm bringing someone from Rockford 800 miles to room with me. So I'm honestly going in blind. So no, I haven't found a roommate, and I'll probably just leave it up to random generators. I can't even say it.
I'm
random generation.
I don't know. It's like generate. I think
randomly generated.
Yes,
I get my roommate randomly
word.
Generated out of a video game.
It's such a weird word.
I know. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just escaping me, and after the podcast, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I sound like an idiot."
Oh well.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah. And then Connor, I know you're.
I'm probably going to go to Rock Valley for 2 years, and I know I said that on episode 2, so that doesn't really require a roommate. If my mom and sister count as roommates, that's probably my answer to that question. But who knows? I could end up going to a college, but the baseline answer there is no. I haven't found a roommate yet. All
right. Well, I guess the next one's really for me, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No.
I mean, if you want to weigh into your. Well, I'll ask the question first, and I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's what are your inspirations for the podcast? Now, I made the podcast, so Connor, why don't you do what are your inspirations, or why do you want to be on the podcast?
Well, I mean, I'm here to support you, Alex, and to support my other friends who come on to this podcast, but it is ultimately your project, so I'm here to support you, help out with it, do some nice combos with the friends, like our viewers out there, try to get some laughs now and again, like say some funny stuff and whatnot to get people going. Like if we were to break out into singing Dave Matthews, I'm sure we would get some.
We already broke out into singing Dave Matthews. We've done that before, Connor.
There's a lot of Dave Matthews songs, Alex. We've just scratched the surface.
I will sing a song with you at the end of this podcast, but we gotta leave them. We gotta leave them guessing. We gotta leave them wanting. We don't know what we're gonna sing. You guys don't know what we're gonna sing. It's a little.
It's Return to Ignorance by Enigma.
I'm not gonna sing that. We'll find a song. We'll find a song.
We'll find a song.
Don't you worry about it. But I mean, my inspirations for doing the podcast is, well, it's gonna sound funny, but I just love talking. Ever since several, from a few years ago, I just realized that a lot of people, and I just talk to people, and they talk to me. They tell me stories. I tell them stories, and a lot of times I get people laughing. Like Monet sometimes laughs when I talk to her so hard that she cries, and I cry because she's laughing.
Yep.
I laugh because she laughs, and I laugh harder because she laughs harder, and it's an endless cycle till we're both screaming.
Shout out to our friend Monet Zayed out there.
Monet's a lovely person. You'll hear some questions from her.
Yeah, we got some pretty good questions.
Those are later in the list, but don't worry.
We'll get there.
We'll get to them. We're gonna
don't
do this
you
as long as it
worry
takes.
your pretty little head.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
No, but yeah, I want to make people laugh. I want to do this. I want to learn how to edit, just the audio and use Audacity. I eventually want to go into this as a career. I mean, we talked about this a little bit on the pilot and episode 1 and 2, but yeah, I ultimately just want to go into talking, to podcasting, to radio, to television. I eventually want to go into that branch of media, and I feel like this is
a good intro into your future career, and possibly will give you a leg up in that competition.
Yeah, or at least I'll just have fun with it. At the very least,
Right.
I'll have fun talking to you guys, and then I just have this little time capsule of how I felt and how I thought and the jokes we made.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like my inspiration for being on this podcast is I want to make people laugh. I want to tell good stories. I want to have good conversations, but ultimately I really just want to make some people laugh out there. So if you laugh during this podcast, like and subscribe, and comment down below saying, "Ha, Connor made me laugh.
Connor made me laugh at the Sealies."
At the Sealies. And maybe I'll comment back being like, "You're welcome." Or approach me in person if you know who I am.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, if you want to, honestly, I'll give you a shout out I'll tell you right now. If you want to be on the podcast and you might not know me that well, or you do know me and you just listen, you want to be on, just come up and tell me. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to have anybody on, to be honest. Like, it's just interesting to see different perspectives. And we'll get to that later about having different kinds of people on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll tell you how to contact us if you would like to be on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely, of course. And why don't you read off question numero 6?
Numero 6. All right. What are you most looking forward to towards the end of this year? And I think they mean by that like school year. So let's kind of like keep it.
Yeah, not towards the end of 2017. I'm guessing towards the end, like May.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a big thing, we're playing in prom.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that today.
I'm very excited for prom and hanging out with friends, but I mean, I'm not really excited for the event of graduation, but I'm excited to graduate.
Right. Yeah.
I'm moving to New Jersey. That's going to be a lot of fun, meeting new people and going to college, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to start life.
Yeah.
Or at least, a stepping stone to get there, and I mean, yeah, that's really it for me, I guess. Prom, graduation.
Yeah, I mean I'm kind of in the same boat there. It's like, I mean, the whole like stressfulness of like the end of the year and everything, and each quarter of school ending, it's like one step closer to actual life, and I mean that's just kind of exciting when you think about it all together. Like graduation is coming up, and being with all my friends, having parties to celebrate our years in school and our time together. It's like something to really look forward to, even if it is sad. I think prom is going to be really exciting. I haven't found a date yet. I don't know about you.
No, I haven't. Accepting prom applications right now.
Right. Yeah.
Both of us. I'd go with anybody.
Very true.
I would not go. Well, I wouldn't go probably with. I don't know. I'd probably go with anybody. Like if a guy asked me that I knew, like one of our friends, I'd go with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like specifically as a date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as friends.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Connor?
I'm really looking forward to like asking a girl.
That was a joke, guys. I'm obviously kidding. I'd love to go with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we got time to think about it. We got a lot of people that I think would be really willing to maybe go with us.
I'd love to just kick it with somebody. You know what I mean? I don't care.
I know. Someone to have like a really kind of fun time with. It's like, I think a lot of people get caught up in like the whole romantic feelings of prom, and like, oh, it's so much pressure. Like, what if this person actually likes me or whatnot?
No, yeah.
It's like I just would like to go as friends. Have a good time. Just like it's a party and it's fun.
That's just how I feel about a lot of stuff. Like honestly,
yeah.
like
there's so much pressure.
There's so much pressure for romanticism. Like, why can't I be like, hey, girl? I wouldn't say that, but
hey, random citizen.
Hey, girl, would you like to go to the movies with me? And I wouldn't say that sounded really uncomfortable, but I'd be like, hey, you want to go check out a movie with me? I love going to the movies. I'd love to go with somebody.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be romantic. I just love to go to the movies with somebody.
Right. I mean, just for like some nice conversation about like the movie, just to like have a good time. And some people just are looking to be treated, and you want to just treat people nicely. I know that there's a common theme going around like right now, like treat yourself. Like you don't need no one. And like, yeah, that's like true. You don't really need like romantic people in your life right now. But hey, I mean, friendship, friends, And I think that's a cool thing about senior year right now, and a lot of people are realizing it, that we don't really know a lot of the senior class at Auburn right now.
No, we know the Renaissance program, but we don't really know the regular students too well.
Yeah, I know. And some, even in the Renaissance program, are kind of like, we all stick to our own friend groups. And I feel like senior year this year has given us a chance, or maybe we're kind of branching out a little bit past our friend groups, just trying to talk to some people.
That's really, yeah, I mean, I've talked to a couple, like, shout out to Titus. I've talked to him quite a bit.
Yeah, shout out to Titus.
Julian Giacchis, he's a cool guy.
Oh yeah, I'm been talking to him in psychology a lot, and he's an awesome guy.
Emily Ditch, I gave her a shout out an episode or two ago.
Kate Foster, give her a shout out. Kate
Foster's cool, yeah.
Sophia Giacchis, other Giacchis twin.
She's cool.
She's cool.
I mean, we're just full of cool people, and you just gotta talk to people, and then
yeah, right.
Like, I'll be honest with you. I know Titus is a cool guy, and he listens in.
Right. Yeah.
In the past few years, I would not have talked to him.
Right. Exactly.
And then this year, I talked to him, and he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I think everyone in the Renaissance program at least has something like that. They're just cool people.
Right.
We're all cool people who have our own things going on, and you're worth our time.
So let's be cool together. Come see movies with us.
Come see movies with me and Connor. We'll all go see a movie, and we can sit down, record a podcast, talk about it, have a great time.
It'll be awesome.
I think that's where we should jump into the next question. This one's a real doozy. This one's going to take us a minute.
All right.
It's the biggest school regret. Yeah, I said that right. Biggest school regret or the funniest childhood story.
So let's do.
How embarrassing are we getting with this? Are you gonna say like a real regret you've had in school, or are you gonna have like just a lame one? I'll go legit if you go legit.
I'll go legit.
Okay.
Do you want me to start or you start?
You can start. I'll gauge mine on how legit you get.
So I'm gonna like combine these kind of like funny childhood story.
No, that's the same one.
Oh, well,
biggest regret and funniest childhood story.
Yeah, so it's like biggest regret in school. So biggest regret in school. Let me see.
I mean, if you want to just do biggest regret from like the time you've been in school, like kindergarten to, because I mean, there's stuff I've done like over summertime that I think is really cringy, but
yeah,
I mean I'd say that's during school, like not at school. It's just during your time schooling. If you had something in mind.
Like it's kind of hard to like pinpoint a regret because I kind of like try not to regret the decisions that I make because
I think they made me who I am.
Right, exactly. They make us who we are as people. And so I don't really regret anything in school, but maybe I guess like I don't expect people to listen that would know this, but like probably dating some people. Like that's probably what I would regret, and most of them kind of incorporate like a funny story. So I'll say this one time. I was kind of like really insecure for like the first 3 years of high school, and just as senior year, I feel like I'm branching out a little bit, but sophomore year, I was dating someone, and I have never kissed someone at that point. And so I kind of leaned in to, like, it would be my, like, first kiss or whatnot. And I missed their face. They thought I was going in for a hug. And so they hugged me, and I kind of, like, leaned in a little bit too much. And then, like, my lips were kind of, like, pursed a little bit. And so I accidentally went, mwah. And then I backed out, and then I went to the bus. And I didn't think about it ever since.
No, I mean, I think everyone's gotten awkward for, like, my first kiss was, like, really awkward, and I was like, ugh, I did it wrong.
Right. It's like, every time the first one is, like, kind of awkward, no matter who it's with, and, yeah.
My biggest childhood regret probably, or not childhood, but just overall regret, is I spent a lot of time in freshman and sophomore year just being sad. Like, I was sad for the sake of being sad, and I told people that I was sad. And then in junior year, or more towards the end of junior year and towards senior year, I just realized there was no point in it. Like, I just I was being sad because I wanted to be sad. And I think I regret being sad because it made me miss a lot of opportunities I could have been doing. And that's not like your typical funny regret, but like it's just something I wish I was happy and I branched out and I did Science Olympiad and I did sport, maybe football. I love football. If I did some of that stuff instead of moping, and I don't know, I regret that. But I mean, should we just do a quick funny childhood story and then we should move on, or do you want to?
I got a funny childhood story that will be mentioned, I think, later on in some questions. I'm just kind of looking here. Well, if not, we'll come back to it. But we can move on to the next question. I'll read it off.
All right, yeah. I don't really have a funny childhood story off the cuff right now.
Right,
I've had stuff I've done that's pretty ridiculous. Like, I guess in second grade, my first year in Illinois, a girl made me really mad, and so I took she had like a chicken patty from lunch, and we were on the third story of the building. I took it and I threw it like a frisbee out the window.
That's awesome.
It was not. I got in trouble for it because
so awesome.
For people who listen who went to elementary school with me, which is Sam, maybe Declan. I don't know if he listens, but her name was Sydney, and
Take that, Sydney.
Yeah, but I felt really bad because she had a broken leg.
Oh my gosh!
And I just threw her chicken patty out the window, and I was like, screw you. And she got really sad, and they bought her a new chicken patty. But I mean, it is what it is. I can't fix that.
Excuse me.
But yeah, let's just start with the next question.
All right, I'll read it off. This question has been asked a couple of times now, but it asks, why do people say senior year is easy? It's really stressful. And then another side-up question to that.
Actually, why don't you read it? Why don't you read what it actually says?
Yeah. So it says, why do people say senior year is easy? It's stressful as balls.
Now, I'm going to say that Titus wrote that. I don't know who did, but...
Shout out to Titus Messmer.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because senior year for me has also been really... I've been stressed out.
Yeah, I could see that. And then a follow-up question that was mentioned later on was, how do you deal with that stress?
Well, I mean, we had a whole podcast talking about stress management.
Right.
So I won't dive too far into this. But the big thing is just finding what you love. If you love doing what you're doing, then it's not stressful. And me with the podcast, like I'll sit down on a Saturday and I'll spend 6-7 hours just editing. It doesn't even need that long. I'm just having a good time, and I change songs, or I'll cut little bits. I'll cut seconds out, or I'll add little things in that aren't normally in. It's just
you just kind of have to find what you like to do and what is an easy pastime for you.
And then there's Alex. I mean, we got to do stuff for school that I don't like. Like sometimes econ homework can become difficult,
right?
Or it's something I don't want to do. It's like, well, just make it into something you want to do. Like a big thing I do when I'm doing econ homework is I call friends and we all talk and we work on the econ homework together, or we just talk about stuff. Some of us play video games, some of us do econ, or I'll listen to music I really like, or Connor here will send me a song from someone I think is interesting, like Enigma, and I'll just listen through an album of theirs while I do homework. It's just, you just gotta mix what you love and what you hate. You just, it's all about balance.
There's really no way to escape stress and from school and whatnot, because it's always going to be there. But finding ways to like cope with it and to be just chill with what you're doing, knowing that you got a lot of work to do. Sometimes you just got to sit down and work through it. Finding the ways to help you work through it is the best thing that you can do. Like Alex was saying, finding that music that you like. My favorite band to listen to right now, as we said, is Dave Matthews Band. They just have some cool, chill songs. I know a lot of people, like including myself, will listen to Disney music from Disney movies, and it's just relaxing, kind of
nostalgic, reminds you of your childhood.
Right, it's like that level of nostalgia that just kind of makes everything nice and comfortable. I mean, doing homework is what it is, but dealing with it is how we can work through it, and it's kind of nice to be able to have friends or whatnot, like you were saying, Alex, to help us through that stress.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And then as to the stressful part, and how does it exactly worded? Why do people say senior year is easy? I don't know. I have no idea why people say it's easy. It is not. At least homework-wise, it's not easy for me.
I guess it really depends on like what classes you take and if you enjoy the classes that you're taking. Like I enjoy all of them really right now. Each class is kind of cool in its own way, so I really enjoy taking them. But some people say it's easy, I guess, because they just have an easy load that they're doing.
No, yeah, totally. And then I guess we should jump to the next one, which is kind of a doozy.
Let's wait for that one till later.
We're gonna save that one.
Yeah, let's save that one.
All right, that one's a big one, so we'll save all the really intense stuff.
Gotta cough real quick. All right.
Sorry, guys, that might be loud, but you gotta cough and you gotta cough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Connor, this is the one. Why don't you introduce this next one? Because this is the one you were excited for.
Yeah, this is the one. All right. What is the grossest food you have ever eaten?
Do you actually have something? I mean,
I've got something. But I want you to tell yours first because mine's a story.
All right, so a lot of people... Oh, this is your funny childhood story?
This is my funny childhood story.
All right, so mine, I'll say two, because I've eaten two foods that I found Well, the one I found repulsive is repulsive to look at, and the other one was okay to look at but gross. So deep fried frog legs. It looked okay. It sounded okay. It was not okay.
It sounded okay.
Yeah, I'd try it. It's meat. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, but it's like a frog.
I'd try it though. You know,
It's a little froggy. Alex.
I'm open minded. I'd try it.
I know, but
So I ate it and it was just immediate disgust. Like
Oh,
it was
man.
like a frog. It tasted like frog. I could not.
what
no,
does
no, no.
frog taste like?
I'm not gonna say it tastes like. If you eat a frog leg, you could. If any of you viewers out there are out there that have eaten frog legs, you know it tastes like frog. It does not taste like chicken. It tastes like frog.
Oh, that's crazy.
It tastes how a frog would taste. And then the other one I thought was disgusting, but it was tasty. It's called Scrapple.
Scrapple.
Yeah, it basically what they do
Isn't
is
that a board game?
you goofus. That is Scrapple. This is Scrapple with two P's.
With 2 P's.
No, but Scrapple's basically like it's all like these pieces of like ground up like animal parts, which sounds gross.
Ooh.
And it's like this moist gray slab. But then they throw it on like they basically throw it on like an oven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the ones they use at McDonald's where it's like it's flat.
Yeah.
They throw it on that and then they bread it and they season it and it is so good. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, you'd think it would be disgusting because it's like all these chopped up pieces just kind of slammed together.
Right.
But it is, if you get past its disgusting gray slab look and its, contents, it tastes. I hope you guys heard that. A bunch of geese just loudly honked in the window. But, yeah, it was,
Maybe geese are in the scrapple.
oh, gross. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you, I'll listen up. I'll shut up for a second. Why don't you tell us our story?
Alright, so this takes me back to the days of elementary school. So if you folks want to sit down in your chair, light up a campfire, and sit with Uncle Connor for a second, I'll bless you with some knowledge.
Bless me, Uncle Connor.
You're about to get it, son. Anywho, I lived back in the old Illinois, and I was trying to impress a girl. This was 4th grade.
I think you told me this story, actually.
Actually, I was in 5th grade. The girl was in 4th grade, and her name was McKenna, and she was fancy for me. Anyways, McKenna one day was talking to me about how her uncle has these little fried up grubs. And I said to her, "Lady, you're crazy. Fried up grubs, that's the nastiest thing I have ever heard." And so she brought them to school one day, and I said to her, "McKenna, you're crazy. Why do you have these grubs?" And she was like, "Would you like to try one?" And I'm like, faced with 2 paths that I could take. One, be the sensible person that I am and decide not to eat these. Or impress the girl, win her heart by eating some fried up grubs. Now, these weren't any fried up grubs. They were barbecue flavored.
Oh, God. That is disgusting.
It was terrible.
Oh.
And so I chose the latter path, and I decided to eat some of those grubs. Not a nice little 1, 2, or 3, but a nice handful. It was not fun. Put them in my mouth, and they were dry and crunchy. Tasted like cheddar barbecue.
Oh,
disgusting.
that is so foul. That is gnarly.
She laughed her butt off, so I called it a success, and I spat them into the water fountain.
Do you think she, fed you, what you give to, turtles? They weren't for human consumption?
It's a possibility, but they were barbecue flavored, and she ate a couple of them like it was nothing. And so I was like, wow, that is someone that I would love to be with in elementary school.
Gross.
She was a mighty fine person to eat those grubs.
Wild one.
She was a wild one. But I spat them out in the sink near where we were standing, and the next kid that walked by said, "Someone vomited in the water fountain." I didn't vomit, it just spat out in there, and then I walked away very fast because I didn't want to get in trouble.
The kid who said someone vomited just slammed his hands against his desk and they're like, "ThalkZone's talking about my throw up story." We're gonna get a complaint about that in the comments.
Something like that. But I think I impressed her that day. It was cool. I think that was the last day of school that I did that back in 5th grade. Never saw her again.
I think we go to the same school now. I think she actually goes to Auburn.
McKenna? No, she goes to Jefferson.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I've seen her. I think I've seen her at Auburn.
I'll find out.
I think I've seen her. But let's just jump right in the next question. This is going to be a long episode, guys. A long one.
Well, we could cut it down if need, but
no, there's no need to cut it down. We'll
do you
release
want
2
to
hours.
save some of these questions, or
No, I mean let's just power through. I mean, there's more questions. Well, I don't care. What does it matter if it's long? I'll either cut it into 2 episodes, or
yeah,
the big boys at home will get an extra long one from Uncle Connor and Daddy Alex.
I just don't want them to be like sitting and thinking like, oh my gosh, this is a long podcast. I mean, we could stretch out the love a little bit.
Well, it'll go into 2 if it's a problem.
Right on.
I'll cut it out and I'll do a voiceover.
Let's do some ticketed talking then.
All right. Well, what's the next question? Jump right in. We'll do some speed questions.
All right. This is featuring our friend Monet.
Hi, Monet. We talked about you earlier.
We talked about you, and we have come to your questions. First Monet question is Girls Podcast ?
Hey, yeah. Well, that's a good question because I mean, I get a lot of questions like, are there going to be girls on the podcast? And yeah, there is.
The
next
answer
episode
is yes.
Stop asking. Please, the answer is yes.
I mean, like, the answer is always yes. It's the matter of finding girls to come onto the podcast.
Girls don't want to come and hang out in my room where we record the podcast.
It's a mighty fine room, Alex.
A lot of posters and a lightsaber on the wall.
I love that lightsaber on the wall.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think next time we're going to get some lovely ladies on here. Emily, Monet, Emily might be on it. Cassie might be on it. We're going to have a nice little nice big cast.
If you did not hear your name listed, please comment down below or find us in person and shake our shoulders like, we want to be on the podcast.
Alex, that's Gamergate. I'm not on the podcast.
And we'll be like, all right, we will get you on.
We'll get you on a podcast. Don't you worry. Don't cry about it. We'll get you on.
We got you, man.
Next question.
All right. Next Monet question. Thoughts on graduation, location, etc.
It's good. Next. No, I'm
Next
just kidding.
question.
I'm just kidding, Monet. I don't know. I don't really care. My parents aren't around, so I'm just going to graduation with maybe...
Alex, your parents are dead?
No, you stupid idiot.
Oh.
My parents are still alive. I just gave a shout out to my dad.
Hi, Alex, Dad.
Hi, Dad. I was going to say hi, Alex's dad. But like, that doesn't make much sense.
It's your dad.
It's my dad.
Dad.
They're just... I only got 2 people coming to graduation, and the location's not a big deal for me.
Right.
I'm excited to graduate. I'm happy to start New Jersey stuff, but no, in all honesty, it's not the actual event's not a big deal to me.
Right. I don't really mind the graduation location. I guess it's more of like the process of graduating, which is kind of cool. And so I guess I'm more worried or like thinking about that rather than the location of it. I mean, I'm going to have a party afterwards that Saturday. So anyone that couldn't attend that graduation could come to that party.
I'll be there.
He's going to be there. Other people are going to be there.
We already got a celebrity in the stadium. It's Alex Finley. He's going to be there.
Alex Finley from ThalkZone podcast is going to be there.
So, I mean, you'll hear me talk. So you're basically getting the full experience.
Leonardo DiCaprio could be there.
He could.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah, totally.
Hillary Duff.
I talked to her earlier. She will not be there.
She's not going to?
No, but, I mean, the night is still young.
True that. Hillary Duff, if you're listening to this podcast, come to my graduation party.
Please.
Please.
We need you.
Please.
But, we'll just jump to the next question. And we actually answered, the next question was going to be about stress, but we kind of answered that with the other stress one.
Right.
So why don't we just jump to the very next one?
You want to read it?
Yeah, sure, I can read it. It's, what is your least favorite year of high school and why? Now, you start with it. I started with the one about favorite, least favorite.
So you want me to start this
one? Yeah,
one?
you start this one.
All right. My least favorite year probably was junior year. That was just a stressful time. I didn't really have too much fun. Some of the classes I were taking were just like annoying rather than interesting. It was just tough to deal with stress and everything. It wasn't a good time. And then I went through a wonderful summer transition of being a camp counselor, and it was fantastic. And I came into senior year super confident, loving life, and I still do to this day.
That's very good to hear. I'm glad you're there.
Yeah.
So my least favorite year, we're going to start with the least favorites, I guess, was freshman year. I was in a somewhat difficult relationship. I was sad, like I talked earlier. I was, I would say, depressed. I don't like throwing that term around because it's a pretty heavy term.
I mean, we all go through one of those phases.
A stage, yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the high school experience.
But yeah, that was my sad year. I didn't have any like exciting classes. Like all my classes were not bad, but they were lackluster, and I was stressed from high school, and
they weren't as great as they could have been.
No, definitely not. I mean, and I'll do favorite year right now too. My favorite year has indeed been senior year.
I would agree with you on that one.
I have grown closer to all my good friends,
and I have glowed closer to my friends.
Thank you. I wish I could glow.
Bioluminescence. Anyways,
shout out to bioluminescence.
Shout out. Senior year is fantastic. We talked about it being stressful, and
and it is stressful.
It is stressful, but like the people that we're talking to, the teachers are fantastic. It's just like it's been a great time.
It's a nice year. It's a real good year.
It's been really nice.
And Connor, I think I still have some gas in my Segway. Why don't we ride that to the next question?
Whoa! Ooh. All right. What is this one? One of the times you have had the most fun senior year. So, Alex, tell me, when was the most fun you've had during senior year?
Most fun. I had a great time at homecoming.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have a good time. I love gym, hanging out with people. I had a good time. I have good times in there. And then, of course, recording the podcast. It's always a good time seeing you guys. And
yeah.
We hang out. Sometimes we go out to eat or go to a movie before or after.
Mm-hmm.
We, of course, sit in my room. Sometimes we play video games. It's a load of fun. I just love doing this, and I also like putting something out and hearing the feedback. It's always nice. But that's probably mine. What is yours?
It was after the last pep game I had to play for band. I went and got ice cream with Nick and Cassie, and I think Blake was there too, and then Nick's little sister. And it was just like nice ice cream friend talk time. And I think we all have to do that again sometime, and you can come too, Alex.
I would love to join in on. We should just go. I don't have bedtime now, so we could just shoot me a night. I'll be out and we'll eat ice cream.
It's just like something about eating ice cream late into the night with good friends. It's like it's a special experience, and I hope all of you viewers one day have the same experience as that, because it's fantastic. It's fun. We just talked about stupid senior stuff or just about stupid stuff in general. I think most of our topics were childhood injuries.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
But sometimes like you just got to talk about stupid stuff and laugh with each other, and that's like the best times that I've had with all my friends, including you, Alex. It's just like stupid times where we're just all laughing with each other.
Sitting in a circle telling fun stories.
Sitting in a circle telling fun stories.
Sitting in the tub cooking like a stew.
What do blonde boys do?
check out Super Mega. That's a funny podcast.
Shout out to Super Mega.
They're probably they're a big inspiration for my podcast. But I don't know. Like I want to go stargazing with you guys, or to a baseball game, just somewhere calm where something's going on, but we could talk.
Those are two very different things, but I am down for.
I know. They're both like calm experiences for me, where we could just have a good experience where we could talk.
You know what we should do? We should all go see a drive-in movie sometime.
I would love to do that.
I remember reading on Twitter one day someone saying that they wanted, like, some guy to take them out on a date to a drive-in movie.
And we're full circle. Come to the movies with us, ladies.
All right, yeah, we are both open. We will treat you to a wonderful night to a drive-in movie.
It'll be beautiful.
It'll be great.
We're not desperate.
We're not.
Okay? We're not desperate.
We're not desperate.
Don't get that idea.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll eat burgers. We'll get milkshakes. Have a fun time. We'll watch a movie. I'll have you home before 11 if your parents are cool with that. We're not desperate.
Not desperate.
Not desperate.
All right. And this question, that was Monet's questions. Or no, we dove into. We were actually well into Uche's questions.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Uche. You're pretty rad, man.
She's a rad person. She also has a really interesting idea for capstone. It's like the Humans in New York page, but it's with Auburn students.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Uche, we would love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, Uche, hit me if you listen. Hit me up. I'd love to listen. I'd love to have you put in your 2 cents.
Uche, episode number 8.
I get it, like Oche. Like 8. Is that how it is in Spanish?
Ocho. But you saw where we were going with that.
Yeah, I said it wrong.
Anyways.
I don't speak Spanish.
Next
I'm sorry,
question.
Spanish.
Spanish viewers.
Spanish viewers. All right, the next one's from... the next question is it superlatives?
Superlatives.
You know, Connor, I'm an idiot. I don't know what superlatives mean.
I don't either.
I was going to look up the definition before we started, but I don't know what it means.
But we didn't. Moving on.
Yeah, sorry, Uche. I don't know what superlatives mean.
How about you
I'm an idiot.
talk about the next question, and I totally won't look up what superlatives are.
Okay, Connor, don't look up what superlatives are.
Definitely not going to do it.
Connor, I can hear you shifting.
No, I'm not shifting.
Don't get out your phone, Connor.
I'm not getting out my phone.
So the next question is from your very own Emily, and she says, "Do mermaids have belly buttons?" Which, I've seen The Little Mermaid. She had a belly button. I mean, mermaids aren't real, so I guess Ariel's as good a source, right?
Right. I'd say that the Little Mermaid is probably the best mermaid description ever, and she had a belly button. So that's your answer, Emma.
Mermaids have belly buttons. There's your answer, Emma, from the scientists here at ThalkZone. Now, Connor's brought up the definition of superlatives on his phone.
An exaggerated or hyperbolical expression of praise.
What?
Of the highest quality or degree. A superlative piece of skill.
Is this like our shout-outs? Is a superlative like a shout-out? Are we just gonna make an exclamatory noise? We'll just both make really happy exclamatory noises.
Okay, yeah.
You make yours first.
Okay. Ha!
Mine's gonna be like,
yeah!
Yeah, okay.
Yas, queen!
Slay, queen.
Slay, queen. Uche, we'd love to have you on the show to talk about superlatives.
Please, we need you to define what you meant, so you're gonna have to be on an episode.
Yeah.
And then, we've made it to our last. Well, we have one question up here, but why don't we do those two first? We'll mix the Steven's question, who's our next person, and we'll mix that question we saved from earlier that I said was a real doozy.
Digging into the hard ones here, aren't we?
These are the Steven wrote down some real heavy hitting ones. So let's turn off your giggle meters, listeners. It's time to get serious.
Wait, we should probably tell like a bunch of jokes before we get really serious.
What do you call a camel with 3 humps?
What?
Pregnant.
Alex, knock knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
I didn't know you knew how to yodel.
Woo! All right. Now that we got all the giggles out, we can dive into it. So the first question, I'm gonna mix two. It's Steven's question is religion a requirement for enlightenment? And the other question is your stance on religion. Now, this is a heavy one, and I never wanted the podcast to be something heavy. No offense to Steven, but
right.
We'll just answer it quick because me personally, I think I'm a Christian.
Well, let's look at the first part of this. Is religion a requirement for enlightenment? My answer, real quick off the bat here, is no. I don't believe it's a requirement for enlightenment. I believe that if you either rediscover or discover a set of ideals kind of similar to religion, but more of just the morality of it and that kind of thinking, I believe that you can become enlightened in one form or another.
And religion is a good means of reaching enlightenment, but not the only method.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have to totally agree with that one. I don't have any gripes about that.
Right. Yeah.
And then, of course, stance on religion. You want me to start this one?
You can start it.
Well, I'm a Christian. I definitely think religion is a good moral basis for just for thought. I don't think everyone's free to their own choice in religion, but I'm Christian. I like that. I love God. That's as simple as it gets. I just think religion is something helpful and useful, and people should have it in their lives regardless of how they use it. But I don't think it should be forced on people. I think the important thing in religion is that people come to the conclusion that they need it and that their personal experience with it is what's important. Like if I walked up to someone and said, "I need you to be this," it's not helpful.
It's not healthy. It's not anything anyone wants. No one wants to be forced to do something or forced to join something. And I mean, that's not what really religion is, or not what a lot of religions do, which is a nice thing. And I think that a good part of religion is respecting everyone and having respect for a lot of people.
A lot of the morals I so love in Christianity is acceptance and love.
Yeah,
and
right.
I know a lot of people would argue with me about the church's view and stuff on that and how things have been handled, but honestly, I can only hold on to my morals and what
Right.
the good book says.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm a United Methodist. I've been going to church since I was born, and I've been confirmed in the faith. I've been baptized and everything, and I kind of still hold the same morals I do today. That religion in the Bible is in my opinion, in my experience, is a good book to teach you like a good set of morals. But there's also like some things in there that could be considered parables to teach you how to do things. And I've just had experience with the Bible, and I've looked at other religious texts and everything, and I know that some have the same like golden rule, is to teach other or to do unto others what you would have done unto yourself.
yeah, definitely.
And I feel like that's what people forget sometimes and should really focus on. And sometimes I feel like religion is a good place to have a good set of morals and a good way to find a solid way to live your life day to day. But in some cases, I believe that it should stay in the walls of the church.
Yeah, or at least be conversations between people, not between...
Right, it shouldn't be
states.
a deciding factor or really a end point to an argument.
And you should believe what you believe, and you believe it because it helps you, not
Right.
because...
And respect that.
And, I mean, of course, I just gotta say it as a disclaimer. Buddhism, Muslim religions, Judaism, I don't know anything about it. I'm as ignorant as it gets. I'm not gonna weigh in on that. I just am not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole because I know I'd say something wrong. Or...
Right, we don't want to offend people, and so I feel like this was a pretty tricky topic to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
That's why we saved it.
Yeah, it's very heavy. We didn't want to make any mistakes. If we did offend anyone in things that we said, we'd like to hear about it. Please let us know. We are here to learn as much as you are here to listen.
So yeah, sorry if we offended people, but wasn't the intent. Just saying what I think. Connor
Right
said
on.
what he thinks, and I won't weigh in on things I don't understand. So
Stay humble, viewers.
stay thirsty. What is that? Is that Dos Equis?
Just
Stay thirsty, my friends.
stay thirsty, my friends.
I mean, we're reaching the end of this list of questions. What is up? Oh, we missed Steven's first question, which is if all animals have thumbs, where would we be on the food chain?
Top of the food chain, we have guns. Next question.
Yeah, sorry, Steven. I don't think. I mean, maybe a gorilla with thumbs. Wait, gorillas have thumbs. What am I? I'm
But
an
not
idiot.
opposable, really.
Oh, really?
They're not like ours are.
You can you can move it around and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
you can
grab
really
stuff.
move it around. Theirs is kind of like stationary in how they do stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, I think if they had if like gorillas had opposable thumbs, they could take a chunk out of society. But honestly, in the end of the, it's
based
not a
on
matter of
brain
thumbs. It's a
structure.
matter of brains. Yeah, you read my mind.
Brain
Read my
structure.
Brain structure. All right, next question. Can you build a canoe out of hay?
Yes. Next question.
You can.
It's hay.
I don't know what that means. Like, is hay I
If
don't
you
understand.
compress it enough and weave it together as it's like a reed, and you can make a canoe out of reeds. So if you weave them together enough with enough strength in it, enough layers, you could get it to float. Maybe not for long, but you could get it to float.
All right, I learned something today. I learned something from Stephen Doe and Connor Claus.
Right on.
Thanks for that tag team event.
Ooh.
And then actually, can you believe it? We reached the last question. We did it. And this question is another doozy. This is probably one I've struggled with, or not struggled with, but thought about even more so than the religion question. It's
it's like how to answer this.
Yeah, well, I'll just introduce it. It says, how racially diverse is your podcast? And up to this point, it's not very, I'll be 100% honest, it's not. We had Chalky on, who is Indian, half Indian, and Giacomo, who's Italian. And I have invited Steven, who's Vietnamese, and Mark, who is Filipino. And I'd love to have them both on the podcast. And the thing is, it's going to sound mean or offensive. I hope it doesn't sound like any of them, but I just haven't thought about it. To me, it's not like...
Right.
We all grew up in Rockford. We've all had the same hardship.
We've all been friends forever, and it's not to say that we don't see race, but it's just like we haven't really thought of thinking of the podcast as racially diverse. It's just a group of friends talking together. So we just haven't gotten all our friends on the podcast yet.
Yeah, and plus, to me, I don't like when I think about it. I'm like, who should be on the podcast? Well, this one's funny, so Giacomo's hilarious, Connor's hilarious, and those are my friends who are hilarious.
Right on.
I don't think about who should be on the next podcast. Well, Steven's Vietnamese. He should be on. Like, I just don't.
We don't think of it that way.
I don't think of it. I never thought about it that way. But of course, like, I'd love to have either of them on the podcast. Monet, who's coming on, is Egyptian. Emma is. I hate to get the. Is she half Chinese? Because she loves Hong Kong. She's told me.
Yeah, she
Hong
talks
Kong's in
about
China.
Yeah, and she has relatives living in Japan as well.
Okay, well, yeah. So, of course, Emma's of Asian descent. I don't know how to say that right.
That's good.
But I don't have. I'll be honest with you. I don't talk to a whole ton of African American students. I'd love to have somebody on the podcast who'd be willing to be on. Like
Yeah,
I'm not. I wouldn't say. Of course, would not say no. Obviously
Right.
not. I'd love to have anybody on the podcast.
Right.
But
So if you're listening, want to be on the podcast, want to share some 2 cents about any of the questions that we had today, talk about any issue that you'd like to, just let us know and we'll get you on.
yeah, honestly, like height, weight, race, just just whoever you are, bring yourself and bring your ideas onto the podcast. We'll talk about it. Tell me some ideas.
Your favorite video game.
I'd love to talk about that. Maybe I'll have my friend Rashad, who is Indian. Well, maybe we'll have him on the podcast.
Talk about your favorite type of wood, whether it's a cherry or mahogany, and which one should be used to make a stool.
I like birch.
I like cedar.
Cedar's a good wood. It smells nice.
Cedar is the best smelling wood.
I mean, every single time we do a podcast, it gets longer and longer. So I'm thinking that was the end of the questions. They're all done, guys. We did it. We reached the end of the list, and we didn't even miss one.
We went on this journey together.
I know. I feel I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm having a good time still, though.
Yeah. We're doing good stuff here.
It's time to close this out. I don't know what to say, Connor. We said we were going to sing, but I still don't have a song. I don't know what we're going to sing. Do you have any songs in your mind? I mean, I can have it fade out into the outro. Like, that could be the outro song if we have one, but I don't...
Is the outro song going to be Return to Ignorance?
No, we'll have to listen to it first, but it might be the intro. Depending on how I feel.
Well, if it was the intro, it's the intro. If it's the outro, it's the outro. But I think there's only one way to close this podcast off, Alex.
I'm not going to make that noise. I don't want to make the Return to Ignorance noise.
Don't worry. Dave Matthews has a way to do this.
What Dave Matthews song are we going to sing?
Excuse me, please, one more drink. Could you make it strong? 'Cause I don't need to think she broke my heart, my grace is gone. One more drink and I'll be gone.
From the whole Pulpy cast, we love you. I love you, Alex Finley.
I love you, Connor Kloss, signing off.
And we'll see you next time if I can find the mouse on this laptop. There it is!
We did it!
We found it!
Hooray!
Yay!
Excuse me, please, one more drink. Could you make it strong? 'Cause